The people 90.3 FM. What a beautiful day to be alive. What a beautiful day to be right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM studios, right here in the city of Lagos. And of course, it's time for Martyrs. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name is Esther Nwachuku, and obviously, I'm not alone in the studio today. All right, I'm co-anchoring Martyrs along with Choma Innocent. Choma Innocent, how are you?
I'm great. Good afternoon, Lagos. Good afternoon, Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. It promises to be another enlightening, educating, and informative session. Right here on Matters.
Exactly. That's the plan. It promises to be educated, intellectually incisive, and obviously, I would recommend that you follow us. If you're not following us right now on YouTube, follow us on YouTube. The actual YouTube address is at VOP 903 FM. So if you haven't subscribed, go to the search bar, click on your YouTube app. Go on the search bar, type 903 FM. You definitely see us when we're streaming live, so you can virtually be part of the conversation. And as well, across our social media handles, to keep yourself updated on information, current affairs, and all that going on within Nigeria's social-political landscape is at VOP 903 FM, obviously. All right. Another thing, too, for you to consider as well is you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Estiq Media, ESTIQMEDIA. ESTIQMEDIA. Actually dropped something quite interesting yesterday, and right there it's no holds barred, so you can actually subscribe and be part of the conversation right there. At the moment, we do know that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu went to Rio de Janeiro for the G20 summit, obviously along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India. We know that he visited Nigeria. We could see the the multitude of persons that accompanied, that's his entourage, that accompanied him to this particular part of the world, and it was quite a beautiful sight to behold. We saw quite a lot of Indian indigents who reside in this country. A lot of people were surprised that there was a huge number of Indian community members right here in the city of Lagos, and it was quite impressive to see how he was welcomed, to see the visit. He was even honored, all right, by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, there was something quite interesting that I saw. There was a recent beautiful picture. I love that picture because it depicts Nigeria in a certain light, in a light that we indeed can have leaders that are quite intelligent and incisive and know what their responsibilities are. We saw a picture of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, WTO president. You know that automatically she's to go for a second term. And obviously we saw Akinwumi additional AFDB president. And it was a beautiful picture because during the administration of former President Obasanjo, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala served, as well as during the administration of
former President
Goodluck Jonathan. And we saw that it was quite a tremendous feat. She was able to clear out the debts that Nigeria was actually owing at the time. I remember that during this administration, she had advised that we should learn to save. We should save for rainy days. And she actually got quite a lot of backlash as in regards to that. But that picture reminded us that during the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan, as well as former President Obasanjo, we had persons who served in a capacity that Nigerians could actually raise their shoulder with. I mean, we saw the EFCC coming, we saw the ICPC coming during the time of Obasanjo, although there were quite a lot of criticism as to the agencies that were introduced. They felt that Obasanjo used it for his own personal vendetta against some certain political elements. But the thing is, we saw Nuhu Ribadu, he was the first EFCC chairman. We saw Nuhu Ribadu really do what we call justice at some point before, he left. But during the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari, he said something that his administration was on the tripod of three things. Can you help me list them out?
He wanted to fight corruption and regurgitate the economy. That's what I can remember.
And security, because that was one of the things he actually told us about.
Because
he took over from former President Goodluck Jonathan. That was when we had the Chibok girls capture, and that was one of the things they had told us during his campaign, that they were going to help us get back the freedom of those girls. So that was basically the tripod of his administration, and it's quite unfortunate to see that the CBN governor during the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari is embroiled in corruption-related charges. The EFCC chair as well during that administration is embroiled in corruption-related charges. The person who took over from Ibrahim Magu Abdurrashid Bawa, the same thing.
The Minister of Aviation as well.
Hadi Sirika. So you would now wonder that this administration that said that they were going to focus on these aspects of our society, of our economy, was now involved in the corruption they were fighting, and they couldn't fight the corruption. Instead, they were spearheading that particular sector of corruption-related issues. We are still on the whole Emefiele. We've been hearing a lot of testimonials at the court based on how monies were transferred, the economic crutch, and all of that stuff. So the big question, the reason why I'm starting off with this is, who is the person that will stand out in this administration, that will give this administration the rancor when this administration is over? We've not. Do we have any active minister? Do we have anyone within these sensitive agencies that are doing well, that we can say are remarkably doing well?
If you tailor it to just this sensitive places, this sensitive appointments, right? We're talking about the EFCC, the CBN,
those are the
and
sectors,
others,
those are the institutions.
Those particular sensitive institutions and sectors. Who will it be? When you talk about, are the ministers active? Yes, they're active, but the question is, actively doing what? It takes me back to the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari and Lai Mohammed. You would hear his name every other day. His name became a synonym for what he was always saying and spewing, and people knew him as a liar. So are there people that will stand out? Yes, there are people that stood out.
People called him. They didn't know him as a liar, but they were referring to him as Mr. Lie,
and saying it was just, his name was just perfect for what he was doing at the time. So the question is not if people will stand out, but they will stand out for positive reasons.
No, the president is doing his own part. The ministers can and as well do. During the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari, was it Muhammadu Buhari or Goodluck Jonathan? The governor of Lagos State then was Fashola.
It was the governor of Lagos State during the tenure of Goodluck Jonathan. Yes. Fashola.
Was it not Fashola? Exactly. We saw what Fashola did in Lagos. I'm telling you, Fashola stood out. He maintained the blueprint
as a governor.
As a governor, yes, he stood
wasn't
out.
An appointee of the federal government.
What I'm trying to say is that you can say that for that administration, we're talking about persons who were active, persons who made the administration of a certain political party rancor. Up to now, we can make reference to them in good light. We thought that Lagos, that was a scattered, disorganized state, would never be organized. We saw the Light Up Lagos project. We saw the Beautification Lagos project. In fact, Itwa Igodalo's wife was one of the persons that was involved in the beautification of Lagos at the time. You know now that you have this Google application, right? The renaming of some streets and all of that. At the time, we complained because they were breaking the roads, they were scattering a lot of places, they even demolished houses. But this was the process. Lagos was sane. You couldn't go to areas like Oshodi, Munshi, and some of those areas like that at the time. He was able to create a sense of organization, wipe off some irrelevant sectors that were like causing clogs in the smooth running or smooth operation of the state. You understand? He set a landmark for the other governor to come in, that is Akinwumi Ambode. It was quite disappointing towards the end of his tenure, though, but that was just a thing. There were some things that he was meant to continue with that he did not continue with, and it now seemed like in some regards to the sanitization of Lagos, the beautification of Lagos, and all of those respects, most of those things retrogressed. But what would we say about this administration in terms of the ministers, in terms of the governors? All right, if we want to make a talisman or a calculation of how they've been able to effectively, implement positive change within their respective jurisdiction. The Minister of Education, for example, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Water Resources, Minister of Power, Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning. These are persons that we know that are in charge of the sensitive sectors, right, that constitutes Nigeria as a whole. So what would they tell us is the project that they have begun to do, and which of the persons, which Nigerian can actually tell us that indeed some of these policies or some of these ministers are actually doing what they need to do? One person I can say that is actively, supposedly working that we can, relate with is the Minister of Aviation. Festus Keyamo is actually doing something in that regard. Would say he's making that sector quite interesting, because even if he had never had anything to do with aviation, even if his portfolio is literally a novice, he decided to work on that particular aspect, and he's doing something about it. So what other minister can we relate with in regards to rancoring with this administration? So that is the big question. Is, for example, in as much as the president has 3 media aides speaking on his behalf, are they speaking on his behalf? Are they toxic in response, or are they telling us precisely what the administration has started to do? And let us see the template. Beyond the template, let us see activity. Okay, this is what there's accountability.
Yeah.
They're telling us and giving us an update, not to announce the trip of the president, not to denounce some certain statements being made by political opposition members.
Before now, we would always see 100 days in office and the achievements. 1 year in
that
office.
That was Fashola now. It was Fashola that brought it up.
1,000 days in office and their achievements. But we've not been seeing that. And it looks like with 3 different media aides and 3 different, they all have, one is to speak on the president's policy. Another one is to for public communication, and you're wondering what is it that and orientation, what
and
is
then
it that
information and strategy.
What is it you want to say that one of you cannot say? We've been talking about cutting down the cost of governance, but that's not where we're going today. Who stands out in this administration? Honestly, in a positive light, you've mentioned Festus Keyamo. Some people would have their reservations about him. Another person that stands out due to the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road project would be former Governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, but not in a positive light. That's where I'm going.
Well, no, we're talking about persons who were rancor. When you say stand out, it means in a positive 10. Excuse me?
You can also stand out in a negative 10.
No, we're talking about persons who are positively rancored. That's why I started up with the history. And I asked you, I said, within this administration, who can we rancor with? Choma. Who can we rancor with?
Is it Honorable
Dave Umahi? Seriously?
Not in it. That's why I said not in it.
I know. Let's talk about people that have been doing something good.
Okay, so who? I've been seeing the Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy, Honorable Anatu Musawa. I think she attended, was it the Grammys or the Oscars now? And she did this, it was kind of an ad I was seeing, and she was doing spoken word, trying to bring Nigeria in a...
She was the one, or there were persons that, she was
able to... I saw her, she was actually saying it, and she's really pretty, and then she was just there in the face of, in front of the camera, and she was saying really nice things about Nigeria, but it takes more than that to stand out, right? So if we were to take these ministers one by one by their portfolio, Minister of Defense, what is there to say? The Minister of State for Defense, Honorable Bello Matawale, what is there to say? The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, one would say Dr. Nentawe Yotwada became part of the cabinet, so he's not really done much. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, okay. The Minister of Labour and Employment, what has this person done? The Minister of State for Health, Dr. Isiak, the Minister of the FCT, the one and only Nyesom Wike, whom the PDP says is causing problem in their party. The Minister of Water Resources. I'm taking them one after the other because many Nigerians don't even know the names of these their ministers. So we start talking about whether they are standing out or not. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security. Right now, food insecurity is plaguing the nation more than ever. So what is Honorable Aliyu Sabi doing? The Minister of Interior, Honorable Lubumi Tunji Ojo, no comments.
No, why?
Do you have a comment?
The old Bobby matter. He said they were going to investigate it. They investigated it now. That was active. He brought the minister to good light. So we are going to find out the root cause. Is that not a good thing?
Do you remember that his name was also embroiled in the whole Better
Edu situation? Yes, but there was no evidence to prove otherwise. So
okay, we go on to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Yusuf Toga. What is there to say?
The president has traveled almost 30 times since he assumed his presidency since 2023. 30 trips outbound.
Is that the foreign affairs?
He has been accompanying. He has been accompanying the president.
Envoys were sacked and they've not even appointed anyone.
No ambassador yet.
And embassies are empty. No ambassadors. Is it the Minister of Education, Dr. Olatunji Alausa? Is it the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare?
I just mentioned
I mean, all of this, when we talk about standing out, I'm taking their names one after the other.
The reason why, that's why I'm saying that, for example, if we're mentioning the president, right, the president cannot be everywhere. It is those who occupy certain positions that would make the administration stand out. These persons I mentioned, Akinwumi Adesina, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, they were appointed by the president at the time. The president didn't tell them what to do. They stood out. They made that administration stand out. We're not saying that administration did not have its challenges or that it wasn't bedeviled with corruption and all whatnot, but they stood out. Up till now, you can take your shoulders high when these individuals are anywhere and say, yes, they are Nigerians. They are representing.
In this administration, what about the Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Honorable Nkiruka Unyojocha? At least they were able to come to an impasse with Labour and pay 70,000 naira from the 30,000 naira minimum wage. Would you say that makes her stand out?
Yes, now didn't she stand out? Chioma, at this moment, there's a gridlock that stretches along the sections of the road outbound Lagos, which include areas like Kara, Opik, Long Bridge, amongst others. Commuters are stuck there. It's been there since Wednesday night. Along the situation was because of the fact that an accident was caused by multiple breakdown of vehicles along that axis. So there is also a diversion along the Long Bridge due to maintenance work, which has been ongoing for a while now. So if you're still in that traffic, I would implore you to just be patient, and things will definitely stream out. Usually is synonymous with that particular axis. There's always traffic there. If you reside there, if you walk there,
God, if you walk there, you would have to. If you come to work,
you have to be residing there
outside of Lagos, and you would just have to stay at work from Monday till whenever you have to go back home
for accommodation there.
Honestly, this is why I like bikes, but they've banned it from.
For security purposes.
I know. You can't carry your car on your head and take it out of the traffic.
Plenty people don't enter orthopedic hospital.
Yes, I
know. They
say
say the way those bike riders drive.
I'm just saying they ban bikes even in the streets.
Don't advocate.
I'm not advocating.
Government had a very good reason.
But you can.
Plenty people don't break leg.
Bicycles. Okay.
Go and drive. You see that song? You go fry before you reach house. All right. Acclaimed leader of the Eastern Security Network alleged armed wing of the indigenous people of Biafra, although there's no connection with that, because Simon Ekpa has said that Biafran, the indigenous people of Biafra and the BRIG, they're not together at all. They're two different entities. Well, according to the British Broadcasting Corporation, Pidgin Service, Simon Ekpa was remanded in detention by Finland authority for alleged terrorist activities. BBC had reported that the District Court of Päijät-Häme in Finland sent Ekpa, who is a Lati Nigerian municipal politician, to prison on probable cause and on suspicion of publicly inciting people to commit crime with terrorist intent. The court reportedly said Simon Ekpa allegedly spread separatist propaganda on social media. It reported that Ekpa allegedly committed the reported crime on the 23rd of August 2021 in Lahti. In addition to Ekpa, BBC reported the Finnish National Bureau of Investigation also arrested 4 other men on suspicion of terrorist offences. You recall as well that the Enugu State Governor Peter Mba had called on the federal government to expedite action on the repatriation of Ekpa. Governor Mba had accused Ekpa, who claimed to replace IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, of disrupting the security of the Southeast region through his Monday sit at home. Although Simon Ekpa on several occasions has said that he's not replacing anybody, he's not replacing Nnamdi Kanu, he's not replacing IPOB. I know that just yesterday I saw where it was written that he's been offline for a couple of days because he's always tweeting, he's always on X, he's always updating. So people were like, what's going on? His followers were wondering where he was, and some people were like, okay,
now they know.
Some people were like, okay, maybe he's working underground, maybe he decides he doesn't want to talk about some activities that they're doing since the Biafran declaration freedom will be on the 2nd of December.
Yes.
So maybe workings are ongoing and he has decided not to make anything known, right?
He's working low-key.
Yes, exactly, because they've been advice on him to not always announce certain things that he's up to. So obviously nobody could see anything going on. People were wondering, why is there silence? What's going on in that regard? Why is everywhere quiet? We've not heard about him. He has not updated, and all of a sudden we're seeing this information concerning the fact that he's been arrested by the Finland government. Do you think it has to do with what was going on in 2020? Because there was a time he was invited and later released. Some persons who were not in support of him were happy. Do we think there's the same thing that will play out now?
I'm really hoping that it's not the same thing.
Okay.
Because this is more than just spreading separatist propaganda. This is actually perpetrating acts of terrorism. If you go to his page on Twitter, he posts on X, he posts gory videos, really gory videos, beheadings, killings. And he will talk about this is what the gallant men of the Biafra army are doing to the Nigerian soldiers. That's not how it's supposed to be. If you want to secede, right, there are ways to go about these things. And that is the grouse, that is the problem I have with Simon Ekpa. Nnamdi Kanu himself was not a very violent person. The way Simon Ekpa is worse though. He is very, very,
Have you
very,
listened
very
to all
worst.
the videos? Have you listened to all the YouTube utterances of Nnamdi Kanu? Have you listened?
Simon Ekpa's one is times 100.
Are you sure?
it's times 100.
You remember that some of the persons,
do
you know that some of the persons who are praising and agitating for the release of Nnamdi Kanu were calling him a terrorist that time that he was saying what he was saying on social media, on YouTube? Some of the persons who are saying, oh, release Nnamdi Kanu, some of them were the ones calling him a terrorist.
Well, Nnamdi Kanu has been in DSS detention for a while. He has come home to answer his own question.
The reason why it seemed like some persons kind of, what's that word? When you sin and you decide to go back to Christ, there's a name they used to call. No, not repent. When you reconcile with, there's a way they
like restitution.
No restitution.
No restitution.
There's how they usually what do you call it? When you are reconciling with Christ. A lot of them had to reconcile because some of the things and utterances he was saying at the time, they began to see the reality play out in the country. So they were like, these are the things Nnamdi Kanu was saying, and then, some derogatory terms they were calling Nigeria because of some of the corruption situations, insecurity, the fact that some political elements were involved in the insecurity and all whatnot. So they were like, this is what this man was saying and all of that. So that was what made him to get more members even after he was incarcerated. So you cannot say this one is different from the other. They just both had their different methods of sending or propagating their own messages. But my own question is this. Since 2021, and it took the Finland government this long to apprehend him, and then secondly, why would he go to a community in Finland or somewhere and be propagating message of disunity, publicly inciting people to commit crime? I'm still trying to wrap my head because he said, who is a Lati Nigerian municipal politician? And they said he's been sent to on probable cause and on suspicion of publicly inciting people to commit crime with terrorist intent in another country, in another community. I was thinking they would say, okay, maybe because the Nigerian government has been complaining that the Finnish government has refused to corroborate with them and cooperate with them to see how he could be, repatriated back, so that he can face. They also blame him for the situation, the mayhem and violent activities in the southeast. But right now, this story is not even relating to Nigeria at all.
It is actually to a certain extent because the Finnish police are saying his activities and social media rhetoric may have fanned the flames of violence in southeast of Nigeria.
But that is not why he was arrested.
Because
that's what I'm saying. He has been doing it since.
Social media
the federal government of Nigeria has been writing and sending messages to the Finnish government. They did not do anything about it. So nothing happened at the time. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So my question, what I'm trying to understand is, are you agitating for the people in your region, back home in Nigeria? Because the arrest now, going to prison, is not on the situation with Nigeria. Or could this be part of the collaboration between the Nigerian government and the Finnish government to have him in detention and maybe through that means bring him back to Nigeria for trial?
Except if the Nigerian government has been working low-key or underground.
Is that not how Nnamdi Kanu was gotten?
Then this should have happened way
No, it takes
now.
a process because they've been asking questions. Why is it taking the Nigerian government so long to, expedite?
I guess the Finnish government wanted also to carry out their own investigations since that 2021. And the more you make a person feel like they're invincible, the more brazen
they become.
So
you think that's what took place?
I believe that's what took place. And that's why, when he comes out, he would even put on regalia. And in his living room, you just see different kinds of stuff, red clothes and everything. And then when they look at it, maybe they see it as, it's not affecting us back home until he has gone to spew the same rhetoric, maybe at a gathering or anywhere. They've not come out to tell us what they really saw.
Don't you find it suspicious that 2 days after the Anambra killings, this thing happened?
There's been a lot of killings in the southeast.
I know, but look at what happened. It's like this was the final straw on the camel's back. Like this particular one, because I saw how a lot of Southeasterners reacted and said, how can you say you are fighting for us? How can you say you are agitating for our freedom and our people are being killed for nothing? I think this is it. So because I was following on X, people were saying, Nigerian government, do something, so I'm saying 2 days after, you're now hearing that the Finnish government has, imprisoned him. So, but how do we know now that maybe after they take him in for question, because that was what happened the first time, he was taken in for question and all that stuff and later released.
Well, he wasn't in prison that time. This time
he was taken in for questioning.
This time he's been imprisoned.
We don't know. There's no picture. There's supposed to be a picture.
These Finnish people should not annoy me.
Why? No, we've not seen any picture. So everything right now is under speculation. speculation until we see videos and pictures that this is indeed, because you'll be surprised tomorrow he'll come back on X and say, my enemy Zubu we're happy, Abi, well, sorry for you, that kind of a thing. I've done nothing wrong. Because that's why I'm saying that if he committed a crime with terrorist intent in Pajat Hame on suspicion of public incitement, why would you go to another country? Why would you, even if you are a politician in that country, to incite the people against themselves
and do that?
I'm trying to wrap my head around that. Or could this just be a cap, for them to apprehend him, for questionings to take place, for them to start going through a lot of his account? Because just 3 days ago he was live and they were doing fundraising. Was it not 3 or 4 days ago? Last week, precisely.
That fundraising.
They were doing fundraising.
I hope that the people in the diaspora who contribute money to Simon Ekpa and what he does with it, know that they are contributing to the killings of their people.
Well, some people think this is fake news. This is not fake news. You go on Google, check your news sites. It's a breaking information.
It's coming right from the Finnish
authorities. There's no, and even this time around, it was the BBC that reported it. So it's not even like it's some cooked up information. So
at all.
I always implore you guys, whenever we try to do our research here. We know that this medium, we don't try to heat up the polity, and fake news heats up the polity. We don't try to divide the polity. We try to give accurate information after we've done our research. So if you check the Finnish government news outlets, you will see that information there. The BBC has also reported it. So it's not like it's everywhere right now. It's all over the news that he has actually, and even most of the news outlets are getting their source from the BBC. So it's not like somebody just somewhere decided to make that information out there and it's not true. And I told you as well that, if you recall, just earlier today I was reading where the followers of Simon Ekpa were wondering what is going on. They have not seen him update anything. I was even expecting him to tweet after the situation of the Monday sit at home. Normally he takes credence for those things. He would tell you that it is the Biafran Liberation Army or something that were responsible for it. So we didn't see any information in that. A lot of media outlets follow him on X. Oh, I don't follow him, but you notice that his information is always in the news. And then recently the CHQ, as a DHQ, Defense Headquarters, actually had disclosed that there were some persons, powerful persons, that were stalling them from fighting terrorism. That's the terrorism, fighting these persons causing the mayhem, specifically with the Lakurawa situation. They've always hinted it. The DHQ too had come out to disclose that the Finnish government was enabling Simon Ekpa because they had written on several occasions, and Simon Ekpa had actually come out to say they can't do anything to him because he has done nothing wrong. He's fighting for the liberation of his people. So that's why I'm saying that if it has to do with the Southeast, it's not possible for the Finnish government to arrest him in that, because the first time he was invited and questioned, it was related to the killings and the mayhem in the Southeast. He was also released because they didn't find anything supposedly tangible to hold him on. So this time it has to do with the Finnish government themselves, apparently a situation that occurred in 2021. So my question is, why would you be in a resident state that has been providing you protection and succor, and you would create mayhem and incite their people against each other? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So if you know that that is the place you can stay, maybe you can't even travel to any other country because of the alerts on Interpol about you or against you, why would you now make that place uncomfortable for you? Why would you put yourself in trouble? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. That's why I say, let's just see from the next few hours, or maybe tomorrow or next tomorrow, we may hear something. And the Finnish government has not released any picture or any video yet for us to see that he's in prison. So he could be undergoing some questioning and interrogation. Then maybe the Nigerian government, the National Intelligence Agency as well, could be behind this particular information that we are hearing right about now.
Well, one thing about using social media is you leave your digital footprint. If the Finnish government are saying they've not seen any before now, that they have not seen any reason to arrest him, all they need to do is go on his social media platforms and see the kind of, not just divisive or violent rhetorics that he spews, and they would have seen a reason why they needed to, maybe because it has come back home and they've seen that, oh, this guy has been doing this thing even in his home country and we didn't say anything.
No, they already knew about it. That's why I told you he was invited the first time. I think was it not early last year?
It was in February 2023, yes.
2023, right? Exactly. So he was invited for questioning based on the insecurity in the southeast, and he was released. I remember he came on X. I saw the one of the publications where they came out to talk about him, saying, "Oh, you guys thought you had gotten me," or something like that. He was just questioned. So that's what I'm saying. That could this just be a facade, a means through which they wanted to keep him in detention? Could this have the, like you said, the digital print, or some diplomatic print between the Nigerian government and the Finnish government?
You know, Esther, it's always good to learn from other people's experience, especially when it's a bad experience. You don't have to have it yourself, right? Even if he hasn't done anything there, they will know that there will be an Igbo community in Finland.
Yes.
They would have meetings, and that is what they will say. It will start for when they want to protest against anything happening in Nigeria. They will gather right there in Finland, right? And when they look at all of these things, they know that this man is not just a threat to his people back home, but to us here as well. And honestly, well, I know that his supporters may not be happy about the fact that he's been arrested, but it's been long overdue.
Well, like I said, we need to see videos. We need to see pictures of that. If the Finnish government indeed has him incarcerated or in their custody and undergoing any questioning, or if they say he's in prison whatsoever, we need to see a video or a picture of it. Because if you start jubilating that he's in detention at this moment and tomorrow you see that he's out and about, it may tell you that possibly this is a means of the Finnish government wanting to delve more into other investigations about him, which may actually have the footprint of, the footprint of the Nigerian government. Interestingly, too. So, again, exactly. This is the BBC, right?
Yes, that's the
that is there to supporting him, promoting efforts from Finland, which led to the violence against civilians and authorities, as well as other crimes in the south. This is not the first time the Finnish government, the Nigerian government, has written to the Finnish government about this. Like I told you, he was invited early last year, and the DHQ has continued to complain. I remember when they held a town hall meeting. I don't know if you remember the town hall meeting that was held earlier. The DHQ actually came out to talk about insecurity. That was before the End Bad Governance protest. No, the first protest that took place, was it in 2023? Before the End Bad Governance protest, there was a town hall meeting because there were calls by the Nigerian government to make sure people don't go out and protest. So there were town hall meetings when we talked about insecurity that is causing businesses to slow down, the slow economic and all of that, the policy implementation. So some of the ministers of the president, some of them were beginning to try to talk about what the administration was all about and what they're doing, and sympathizing and begging Nigerians to be patient. So there was a town hall meeting where the defense headquarters, Buba Garuba was one who came out to talk then that they had been liaising with the Finnish government, and he said that it seemed like the Finnish government was enabling him for the continuous perpetration of crimes in the southeast.
The chief of defense staff then, Christopher Musa, also said the same thing, accused the Finnish government that they were protecting him, and they called on the Nigerian government to explore diplomatic options to make sure that the secessionist leader was arrested.
Exactly.
In all of this, it still comes down to that issue of terrorism, spewing divisive rhetoric. This person is promoting terrorist agenda, right? And honestly, it's been long overdue. But let's see what comes out of it.
Exactly.
We
still have, because like I said, we need to see videos to actually corroborate what this information is all about. That's number one. Number two, it doesn't make sense to me how you are in a country that is providing you hospitality and accommodation and supposed protection,
and a country that refused to arrest you since the Nigerian government have been asking them.
And then you cause problem for yourself there by supposedly inciting the people there against. That's why I feel like there is something underhand at play here concerning the situation. And exactly, the District Court of Paijatami on suspicion of public incitement to commit a crime with terrorist intent to a country that is providing you accommodation, knowing full well that the Nigerian government eye has been on you. If you just step out of that particular country now, there's a collaboration with Interpol for you to be arrested. So why would you create problem in your home country against yourself? That's why I'm saying that there needs to be more that will be out of this. Or maybe this is a collaboration between the Nigerian government and the Finnish government, and this is a means through which they can have him, within their custody. You can never tell, Sha. People, they disappear. Like what happened in Kenya with Nnamdi Kanu, where the NIA, this guy was just, I think he was supposed to go for a visit or something. The next thing, he just saw himself in Nigeria. So you can never tell. But well, there are countries that have rules. Some things can only happen in some African countries, cannot happen in other countries. But since he's a Finnish, citizen, let's see how they go about the situation.
Yeah.
Well, it's time for you to actually call in and be part of the conversation right now. We have a few minutes to go. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903. And then the WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338. 0817 1756 338. That's the WhatsApp number to send your messages to. And if you are watching us from outside the country, you can actually call through that number. And like I told you, the number to call right here in the studio is 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening, or rather good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. How are you? What's your name?
Hello, are you there? Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Hello. All right, do call back. I think we lost that connection. 0700 903 903 90. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Chioma.
What's your name, please?
It's Nemeka from Ejibo.
All right, Nemeka, please go ahead.
Yeah, well done for a good job.
Thank you.
This issue of Nigeria and Finland, the government issue, it has been over long due.
Okay.
How can you leave this kind of insult in Nigeria? Somebody is at Finland controlling security in Nigeria here, and the Nigeria government and the Eastern governors are telling us to believe them. I've told them if they not settle this issue, there's nothing they will tell us we will believe. But thank God that they are doing something. We are looking at them to see what will come out of it, if it's reality or not.
All right.
God bless you people.
Thank you, Nemeka, for calling. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. The WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello. Please call back. When you call, kindly turn off your listening device. Don't place me on speaker. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What's your name?
I'm speaking from Surulere.
From Surulere. Your name is Azubike. Eh? Can you put your mouth close to your? I can't hear you well, please. All right. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The capture of Cameroon, I think it's a good thing.
Okay.
It's a good thing. It's good for the Southeast China. You understand?
Okay.
All this type of terrorist activity. That is why I am pitching.
Okay.
Even though it was one that called or
Hello, kindly call us back. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Yes. Can you turn off your listening device? Please, when you're calling, turn off your radio. Otherwise, I'll cut it off. All right? It's actually disconcerting. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. And the WhatsApp number is actually 0817 1756 338. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine. Good afternoon.
Welcome to the show. Let's hear from you, please.
That's Ben from Iba. All right, go ahead, Ben.
All right. As you see, the federal government, the Western world does not take them serious at all. Because, a lot of terrorists in this country that are causing havoc, they have not catch them. And some of them, when they catch them, when the military will lay down their life and catch these ones, they release them. They don't do them anything. Like I'm talking of Simon, but we from the east, we are against all these acts by the federal government. All the evil men that are more dangerous than Simon, but they are still working free. I think you understand, Kabiru, Sokoto, and so many of them. So many of them, what do men? They release them. They haven't touched them. It's still free. It's in military Google.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ben, for calling. All right. Well, let me properly read exactly what the Finnish government said. If you go to their website, the statement disclosed that the detention demands are related to the preliminary investigation in which a Finnish citizen of Nigerian background, born in the 1980s, is suspected of public incitement to commit a crime with terrorist intent. The police suspect that the man has promoted his efforts from Finland by means that have led to violence against civilians and authorities, as well as other crimes in the region of southeastern Nigeria. The statement quoted the head of the investigation, Crime Commissioner Otto Huhtinen, from the Central Crime Police. So this is from the official Central Crime Police unit. That's where this information is coming from, saying that the man has carried out this activity, amongst other things, on his social media channels. 4 other persons are suspected of financing the aforementioned activity. All 5 suspects of the crime have been arrested during the beginning of the week. International cooperation has been carried out. Do you hear that? International cooperation has been carried out during the preliminary investigation. That exactly is what I'm telling you, that this also has a huge corroboration of the Nigerian government in it. Good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. What's your name and location, please?
Yeah, good afternoon, Esther Wachugo.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, this I got a great job much. This teammate. Sorry,
You have forgotten your name.
I'm driving.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome, Zerina.
Okay.
This they're not calling from Spain.
All right, sir. Welcome.
I just want to say great Choma for being sincere.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, because Choma stand on this thing said that none have never been violent for once. None only preach.
This one you agreed with me
situation
today.
we first in Nigeria. None only just this preach on how to secure this east central of Nigeria. And just sometimes they tell you what is happening in Nigeria now. You see, that's what is happening in Nigeria. None they have said it since. And what is remaining from Esther, let me remind you, and that thing Nand said. Have you gotten your the Somalia passport?
My Somalia passport.
Yeah, exactly. He said Somalia will be better than Nigeria. That people should go for Somalia passport. Somalia. That's one thing.
Okay.
None have not been violence. Just this thing. I don't want to talk because of this thing. Just I want to greet Choma for standing on this thing on his ground.
All right.
For
Thank
that.
you.
And
Thank you.
this can I continue?
Yes.
Or
Okay,
you
continue.
want
I
me
thought you
to
were
continue?
done. Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So there's concerning this thing. Nigeria should not jubilate with it. Nigeria is not Finland.
Exactly.
Europe is not like Nigeria.
Exactly.
The next thing that will come now is just like what happened to Abiri. I think it's Abiri somebody that this
Is
diaspora
it that's
this thing
Nkechi lady? The Nkechi
They told
lady.
them, the market told Canada called that Nigeria should go and at least try to make this thing, put themselves house in order. That is what
He's referring
happened
to the
because I have a
Nkechi
lot of
lady.
tourists. So that's what you see from Finland. Nobody should blame yet. Not
All
that I'm in support of this thing. I'm
Okay.
only interested in Nandi Carlo.
All right.
Okay, my brother. Okay. So I agree to you. I want to hear your voice.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your call, Zerina. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you for calling 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to come. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon. Name and location, please.
Hello.
Kindly call back. I think you have a connection situation. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
yes.
hear you. What's your name?
My name is Pastor Michael. I'm calling from Ador.
All right, Pastor Michael. Go ahead.
I can see that they told us that they have arrested Ekpa.
Yes.
And people are saying, you know why I'm getting annoyed in this Nigeria? Anything that concerns Igbo people, federal government, they always bring themselves in to do their worst.
What's in federal
They
government
want
do for
to suppress Igbo people. They want to suppress Igbo people because of the way they are. They are intelligent.
By arresting Simon Ekpa in Finland for terrorism propaganda.
Wait. Oga, did you
remember the name of 400 people that are supporting Boko Haram? They have not bring them out.
Oga, did you follow the information? We don't know yet if Nigeria is involved, but this is the Finnish government that arrested
But
him.
I'm telling you what I know. But the way they are doing this in Igbo, the way they suppress Igbo, so Igbo people will not have much in this Nigeria.
Ew.
They are taking us as third people in this Nigeria, but we are the pillar of Nigeria. The way they are treating Igbo people is too bad. So that way they are bringing their efforts because of the Igbo person. One of the 400 names they are being Boko Haram. As they find out who those people that are sponsoring Boko Haram, they are not that going to be Igbo person. That's why they are making their efforts to bring those people back. To show Igbo people.
Hey.
The first war. As they see anything they did
No,
for Igbo people.
there will be no. Please don't call in here and mention war or anything. We're not trying to talk about that aspect. But however, thank you for calling, Chioma. Regardless of I feel like there's a lot of things that are not properly clarified in his information.
Yes.
But I would agree about some things he talked about: the isolation, the marginalization. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. For example, there was a particular group that is asking for the president's son, Sheyi Tinubu, to be mooted for governorship in
the coalition of
2027.
Nigerian youth.
Yes, exactly, in 2027. And it's quite funny because his wife, because there's like, remember I was telling you one time that if you go on X, there's this agenda of having to Yorubas wanting to claim their state back. They want to have 99% of everything, and outsiders. And when I'm talking of outsiders, not any other tribe, just Igbos. So there was now the conversation of his wife. Her name is Chinwe, right? She's half Lebanese and half Igbo. And people were like, but if you're calling for this guy to be the governor of Lagos, his wife is Igbo. I thought you guys said you want a full-blooded Yoruba person to be in charge
they call
of
GRV a tainted blood.
So some people are now saying, well, you don't claim her, she's not Igbo, she's Lebanese, so it's okay. So it's almost like any other tribe but not Igbo. But in this case, her name is Chinwe.
One thing about propagandists is they will always shift the goalpost to suit the narrative. That's one thing. So what applies to A will not apply to B because they love B.
But
so they don't
this
have a problem
information-
with that thing. They have a problem with the person.
This information coming out now, we're trying to ask these guys who are saying that any of their people who wants to go for public office and their wives are not from their tribe, they're not going to show support. They said if Davido, I remember there was a space they held, they said they will not consider Davido if he wants to run for any position because his wife is Igbo. They also mentioned Rufai. They said Rufai, they cannot really trust him like that because of the things he had been saying against the government. Then they now mentioned this Sheyi Tinubu situation now. So would we say now that the president is in charge, obviously, and his son now intends to run, if he intends to run, because he may debunk it, are we going to say they would not support because the wife is Igbo or she has Igbo blood?
One other school of thought is that most of this is a method of testing the waters because coalition
Are
of
you sure it's
Nigerian youth.
plans
who
are already, when
who
you
are
see
they?
information like this, the plan is already underway.
That's why I say testing the waters.
Ah.
There's been a lot of that lately. You just put out an information and then Nigerians, there'll be an uproar and then you just be like, oh no,
And they will just stop.
They'll just withdraw it.
Hello,
Right?
good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, thank you.
Hi, please, when you call, turn down the volume of your radio. I've told you that thing is not good. Turn it off completely. You want to hear yourself. Hello, good afternoon. This network is poor, very poor. I can't hear you. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. Hello. Hello.
Good
Hello.
afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
I'm talking about the Simon.
Please
Ekpa
turn
that
down the
was
volume on your
arrested.
radio set. Turn off your radio set, please.
If
Turn
you
off your
do
radio
that, we'll
set.
take you off. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good afternoon.
Come on, turn down the volume on your radio set. It makes for a seamless conversation. That
Hello,
feedback doesn't
hello.
sound nice.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah,
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Johnson. I'm calling from Lawrence.
All right, Johnson,
Welcome.
please go ahead.
I want to contribute for your discussion this afternoon.
Thank you.
So, I don't know if people are clamoring for what they're not supposed to clamor for.
Okay.
You see that this man is doing something back. Samuel Ekpa. That man, I never see somebody like him.
Okay.
He's a wicked man. I'm telling you that if you see the kind of damages this man caused for East, you can't believe it. Why some of people are crying for it, that why must something like this? I don't know why somebody do something wrong. Why can't you stand and they say that what this person is doing is wrong? How can we supporting the evil? For killing our people, is it a good thing? When you kill our people, finish, you will there for Finland, you giving orders to the east and tell them to begin shoot people and begin kill people. The people who is the same thing with you, the same Igbo people, you are killing them. When you are killing them, finish. Which people, if you get that independent, which people are going to rule?
All right, thank you.
In short, I was very, very happy when I heard the news. If I thought that it's true, if it's true, we are going to celebrate on it because this killing is too much.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Esther Wachuku.
Good afternoon, sir. Name and location, please.
This is C2 calling from Freetown, Sierra Leone.
All right, C2, please don't shout. You talk normal.
Right. My sister, never mind anybody who's gonna call and said they should what they did to Igbo man. No.
Okay.
That is not true. I want if only the media will go to the southeast, we will give them location where someone have his boys dug up a hole. They kidnap people, they shot them, they take their money from their bank and they bury them. What I'm telling you, we have the evidence. I can't come here and lie. Hope Uzodema is listening. You know what I'm talking. I will defend it everywhere. Hope Samaneba have the boys who are kidnapping people in southeast with evidence. You see, if you call me, I will show you where Samaneba have his boys dug up holes. They kill our people. They throw them there and they pour them acid.
Jesus.
I am not lying. And if you people go and ask Hope Uzodema to lead you people to that area, then you can see what I'm saying.
The Nigerian military says so that they saw holes where they put bodies inside and their skulls and all of that. Continue, please.
If Esther, if I lie, the authority of Imo State and Anambra State, they are listening to my voice. I am required to repeat what I said, that these guys are kidnapping prominent man, calling them on the phone, that they should bring, what are they doing to release Mazin Nnamdi Kanu? Some of them for the victim of Samaneba boys. The evidence is there. If all these things have been coming here shouting it, telling our people, stay away from Samaneba. It's an agent that they draft to come and destroy, cause mayhem in our land. His boys will go to the village, they will ambush police, they will kill army, and the army will go into the village, they will destroy the village. They are not showing you all these things in what is happening in the southeast. These things are real, it's not fake. You people should take your media and go to the southeast and see these things by yourself. You will see, let me tell you, in Osu Hitokwa, you will see bodies without their head as I speak to you. These are, I will call their, these are Samanepa boys. There is one they call Butuzo. There is one they call Lion. There is one they called, what's his name again? I will name their name for you to go and do your investigation so that whenever I call on this radio, if I lie, you will say that I lied. But I said it again, that the authorities are listening to my voice. If I lie, let them come here and say it is true. Hope Uzodema know what I'm saying. Some of the killings, Nosonko have come here and said it that these killings is Samonepa boys. They kidnap our people, they took money from them, and some of them, instead of releasing, they will kill them and throw them in the hole in Nosinhito and pour them acid. The thoughts are there. Ask Nigerian military if I am lying. They know what I'm saying.
Thank you, C2. We need to take more calls. All right, thank you for that. All right. Okay, 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. And the WhatsApp number to send your messages to is 0817 1756 338. So I'm going to take some of your messages now, okay? Simon Ekpa is not fighting for the Igbo people. How can somebody who is claiming that he's fighting for the people be killing the same people, killing the economy of the people by declaring sit at home, causing insecurity in the land? Simon Ekpa is against the Igbo people. This is not what IPOP stands for. Chairman from Agbara. All right, thank you for sending your messages. Good afternoon, Esther. Chioma. Arresting of Simon Ekpa is a welcome development, and I'm so happy to hear that Nigerian government should do the necessary things. Let the law take charge. Ekpa's utterances has done more harm to the southeast. Ralph from Satellite Town. All right, Ralph. Okay, this is my name is Ujo Michael from College Road, Oba. Remember, Finland is not an African country. They are one of the best digitized European countries with database formula. If they need Simon Ekpa, they would invite him for questioning without going through direct arrest because they know where he lives and works. Nigerian government is involved in this situation. Let's watch and see, Sha. All right. Good afternoon, beautiful ladies. Thanks the Lord, Simon Ekpa have been arrested and sent to prison. I hope say this is the last crime stop. Hakimi Peace Ambassador from Songwater, Ogun State. Okay, so he sent us a picture on WhatsApp to see Simon Ekpa being accompanied by some Finnish policemen or security operatives. But again, we'll see how the situation develops. Thank you for that particular picture that you sent to us. If the Finland government would arrest Ekpa, it would be based on him going against the laws of Finland, not because of Nigeria or whatever the government says. And Esther, why did you shout, what did Nnamdi Kanu say that whenever his issues come up, some people treat him like an object not to be touched? Do you expect him to shower praises on people responsible for killing his people in his house? If it was you, would you sing love songs of the same government? I'm not even Igbo, but sometimes I can't hide my disgust when I see people try to make some people look unclean, especially when they are victims of irresponsible actions and inactions of the government. You did not put your name. Kindly put your name next time. Good afternoon, Sister Chioma and Esther. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello. Hello. All right. Okay. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon, Chioma and Esther. Hi.
I'm fine. Christian, location, please.
Lagos.
All right, Christian, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I'm glad you both are in studio. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So I want to pick your thoughts on something. Just your thoughts.
You want to pick my thoughts?
Do you know what? Yeah, on something.
Okay.
So do you know what it means to be the C of a nation? That is, you are the chief commander. To one, you say go, to the other, you say come. That is the kind of power you yield as a president. Yeah?
Yes.
Now, is the federal government trying to tell us that they can't curb this insecurity in the East? Remember, you are the C. Are you trying to say you can't curb it? Now, what would it cost the government, to put soldiers in different strategic positions in the East and say, Igbos, you can come out and trade on your Mondays. We are protecting you. It's simple logic. But was that done? That hasn't been done for about 2 to 3 years now, right? The next question I'm asking is, each time Simon Ekpa triggers his boys to go out and do what they do in the Southeast, when he says these things, where do they come out from? Have you also realized that whenever they come out on Mondays, there is no counterattack from the military for the past 2 to 3 years? Just think about it.
That's another beautiful line of reasoning. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I won't be shocked if during his trial now, I don't know if he's been arrested. I'm yet to see pictures, and I hope he has. I won't be shocked if the federal government, I'm just saying, is fingered in this, because it makes no sense. Did you see that time when the last election, you see the way Buhari stationed so many military personnel in Lagos?
Yeah.
At that time, people were saying, oh, we are so happy for the first time we're seeing the military. They were everywhere, stacked with their tanks and their guns. So they were like, oh, they are here to ensure there is no rigging, there is nothing. But no, it was just to ensure that the person currently on seat has a right of passage.
So all right, thank you. Thank you.
Right.
We need to take more calls. Thank you so much for that. Like, I remember, wasn't it yesterday when you were on air? You asked these vital questions where you said, where do these unknown gunmen get their arms? If you look at all the checkpoints in the Southeast, they're heavily militarized. So how are the arms being how are they being infiltrated? Who is bringing in these arms? Who is sanctioning it? Obviously, somebody legit is allowing some of these things to come in, right? And like I also told you, I said that if you recall, the last time when you were asking, I think it was not with Mr. Peter Onosiki, you were asking him the question, he said, because it doesn't make sense. How come the military now comes to take over after these guys have done what they're doing and go? So you want to tell me that they don't know, with all the military formations around the southeast?
Intelligence to know that these are the places that they will that they want to attack.
Exactly. All right, we'll take 2 or 3 more calls and then we'll wrap up this segment of matters for the day until tomorrow. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Name and location, please.
Satellite. Urike is the name.
Welcome.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Okay, arresting Ekpa. I'm asking, will this stop the whole things happening in the southeast? Do you remember the cow, the Boko Haram leader? He said something which government could not supposed to repair. He said a Muslim not supposed to wear skins, not supposed to wear t-shirts. So we're not supposed to lie down in the bed. It's supposed to be a mat. And it's not supposed to be upstairs. It's supposed to be a mud house. And that's the cause of his America. Because he attended University of Maiduguri. Now, arresting Ekpa now, people are happy. He is fighting for the Eastern people. Let those Eastern people, let them make it. They say Igbo. Igbo, do you believe that? Igbo is not a good thing. So let them cooperate. If they can arrest Ekpa and bring him back, and they call Kalu and bring him back, let's ask the question. Let all this war, all these bad things that's happening in the Eastern East, get it stopped. Not by arresting and killing. Kill him, arrest. That's not a problem. The advice is that let them come and let arresting across the region and let everything be repaired. That is my own stake. Not to be fight and kill. Yes, everybody had it aggressive. I'm annoyed here now.
Sorry, don't be angry. Thank you. Choma, you know that when the situation in Anambra happened, the following day I saw on X people were saying that they supposedly imposed that the school children should not go to school for a while. And I saw Nigerians in diaspora, people of the Southeast region, calling on the Nigerian government to do something as soon as possible. And they were specifically calling on Simon Ekpa. So a couple of persons who are saying people are rejoicing. It's the Southeasterners. They're happy. True. You can hear calls from people saying this is a good development. Even Nigerians in diaspora. In fact, I have never seen... Last week or so, I was on a space with Harry. I was listening. And a lot of Nigerians in diaspora are actually not happy with, Simon Ekpa's disposition. You understand? So if, the people are saying, if you say you're protecting your people, why are your people being killed by the same persons that say they're going to protect them? I think that's what the onus is all about. Because if the reverse was the case, I think the same people would cheer him on and say, well done, you're doing a good job. See what C2 called and said. And he's obviously speaking from a reliable point of view, right?
If you say you want to liberate your people and you want to liberate them by killing them, if you kill all of them, who are you going to preside over? And the people who support him, don't they think that he already crowned himself the prime minister with no election?
No, he didn't crown himself. He was actually voted. He was voted. He didn't just take it upon himself. If you follow, you would say there was a platform. No, there was a platform. There was a platform. They did their voting.
Because his voice has been one of the loudest.
What I'm trying to say is that he wouldn't have done that if there was no support, if there was no voting. He was actually voted to take that crown.
Been a lot of fundraising.
Exactly.
So those people who are involved in that fundraising, those people who are sending money, I hope they know that any blood that is shed in the southeast due to what Simon Ekpa is doing is on them.
Like I said earlier, I hope too that this vigor will be applied in routing out Lakurawa, routing out Boko Haram and all those perpetrating insecurity in the north, so that we can have our food prices come down. Choma, you can't buy food to eat. Farmers are not going to the farm because of insecurity. These individuals are placing taxes on these farmers. And by the time the food eventually gets to their location, they would implement the monies that they have paid to those security agents. They will implement the money they paid to those guys who are causing the insecurity and mayhem in the region. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's important and it's very, very vital that this situation is resolved as soon as possible. The same vigor applied, the same international collaboration applied in the situation with Simon Ekpa should also be applied with Boko Haram and Lakurawa. If the government knows those politicians or those in the top echelon perpetrating and supporting and sponsoring, financing those perpetrating the mayhem in the north, they should make sure that as soon as possible they are routed out. Their names should be called out. They should investigate, trace their accounts on those sponsoring. I think it should be pari passu, right? Not just on one angle. It should cut across all borders. It shouldn't just be that you are strong in this particular area and then you're weak there just because those are, you think they're stronger than you. I think that should be what applies. Chima?
Yes, we're calling on security agencies. Please, 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 and please. A lot of people can no longer visit their homelands, their own lands because of the insecurity.
Exactly.
So let's just work towards routing the insecurity. It's the reason why food is so expensive right now.
All right.
And for those of you who are not happy that Simon Ekpa has been arrested, go and bail him.
Well, the conversation is ongoing. Tomorrow you may see that he's been released.
Well,
like I said, let them put up pictures or videos.
Whether he's released or not, one thing we know now is that eyes are on him.
Obviously.
Right? And even if he moves away from Finland to any other country, he already has that digital footprint. They already
And
know
it's the
him as
same
this kind of
Nigerians
person.
that call the Finland government. The Nigerians in diaspora, the Nigerians in Finland, the Southeasterners that reside there. They were the ones that called the attention of the
I'm
Finnish
glad
government.
They were wise to do that.
Exactly. All right. I think it's a wrap on matters today. We need to actually go on through some ads so that my traffic officer is already looking at me like she wants to handcuff me and arrest me. Chairman Innocent, it's a pleasure actually manning the mic with you this afternoon. All right. Have yourself an amazing day. For some of you that I couldn't take your calls, we sincerely do apologize. I'll be seeing you later on the World News at 6. Bye for now.